Okay, now let's go ahead and create a real page. So I'm going to right click on Test Me and select Refactor, Copy, and I'm going to call this one, let's see, this is a year display, so year.php. And instead of hard coding these values, I'm going to use get method to get them. So $year is equal to is set $get sub year key question mark $get sub year key colon, and we'll pick a default year. We'll just say 1915. And then I also need a gender. And we'll make the default be female. And then I have to define these two keys. So in my week 9 constants, year key is year, and gender key is gender. And then here I'm going to pass in year, and here I'm going to pass in gender. And let's go ahead and make this a constant. So this is num_bars. And then let's also make this a constant. Okay, so now I can pass that data in. And then I don't need this on click me div or the display div anymore. But let me go ahead and add a div class is center, and then an h1, and say report for, and then I want the year. That's enough for now. And then I need a CSS property here for center class, and that's just text align center. And then let's also put margin auto on our bar chart table. So here's the bar chart table, margin 0 auto. So that'll center it, I think. And let's go ahead and load that page. So this is year.php, and that's what it looks like. So let's try to make this a little bigger here. See if it is actually centering. It won't let me make it any bigger than that. So just for fun, let me set the number of bars down to 25. Good, and it's properly centered. Great, so now we have a year page. And I want to make two other changes here. So when I hover over the bar, I want to show the label, which is Margaret, and the value, which is whatever percentage this is. And then when I hover over one of these, I want to get a pointer, and I want to be able to click on it to go to a different page. So like if I click on Elizabeth, I want to get a name report for Elizabeth or Francis. So let's go ahead and make that change to our bar chart class. So here is where we're writing the bars, and I'm going to go ahead and break this line. And then I'm going to add a title attribute. And that's going to be this pointer get title of data point. And that should be it. And now I need to define a get title method. So for the title, I'm going to return $pointer get name dot :space dot number format of, actually let's just use the count here. Yeah, I think the count is actually more useful here. So I'm just gonna call pointer get count. Okay, so let's go ahead and try that part. Looks the same, but now if I hover, Dorothy 2514, Mary 58187, Ellen, Ruby. Good. So that part's looking good. And then if they hover over here, I want to change the pointer. So this is my bar chart label class. So bar chart label. That's going to be cursor pointer. And on my bar chart here, I'm going to add an anchor tag. Anchor href equal double quote dot this pointer get anchor data point. And we'll put a class on this as well. So this is going to be my bar chart label anchor. Let's go ahead and close off the anchor tag. Semicolon. Make this a little bigger. And then after the value, I'm going to close off the anchor. And I ended up with an extra one of those. So let's see what we have. Go ahead and break that here. Echo that. So I think that looks okay. Let's go ahead and write the getAnchor function. So the anchor is going to be, I'm going to have a name page, name.php, question mark, name equal, $, pointer, get name, and gender equal, $, get gender. And that should be it. As long as I'm remembering, let me make sure that I did one thing correctly. So these values are going to be passed in as get parameters now. And so I want to make sure that I guard against SQL injection. So in my name popularity set where I have the SQL statement, I want to make sure that year and gender, and I guess count too, are all safe. So that means that I have to open the database connection first. So let me do that. And then safe year is db real escape string of year, and safe gender is db real escape string of gender, and safe count is real escape string of count, just to make sure. And then here I'm going to use safe year, safe gender, safe count. So let's go ahead and reload, see how we're doing. Not so good. Let's right click, inspect element. So here's my TD as a div inside. Got some extra breaks in here, so I must have left some breaks in there. Oh, so I'm getting an error. Yeah, let's go ahead and view page source for this. See what error I'm getting. Undefined property get gender. Oh, should have been a function call. Oh, I forgot to call the method. There we go. Let's try it again. There we go. So now these are anchors. And let's style these a little bit. So let me click on one. So Margaret goes to name.php with name Margaret and gender F. So that's good. I have to implement that page. But let's style those anchors. So that's a bar chart label anchor. Dot bar chart label anchor. Let's make text decoration none and color black. Okay, so now these are looking right, and if I click on Gladys, everything seems to work correctly. Okay, two minor fixes. So in my bar chart here, this should actually be a constant called name key, and this should be my existing constant gender key. No sense in having constants if you're not going to use them. And then I need to add my name key here. Okay, so that should all work exactly the same. Let's go ahead and reload, click on Josephine. So that's still working correctly. And then the other thing I need to do is, you'll notice that some of these are just a little bit off. And the reason is because of rounding errors. So what I need to do is, let's convert the height to an integer here. So let me go ahead and, when I'm calculating the height, right here, this percent, this is actually not a percent, this is a number of pixels. And this should be pixels. And then I'm going to convert this to an integer by using floor. And so let me go ahead and reload. So Pauline should be not, yep, there. So now everything's evenly aligned.